Well, it's been quite a busy few weeks, sorry if I've been off the air for a while. We had a fabulous performance of Hercules, which was received with critical acclaim. Cost a bit, but I'm still paying the bills for that, being treasurer of the Canberra Choral Society. One of the lines in Hercules is that when Hercules dies, the line goes, "All fear of punishment, all fear is over. The world's avenger is no more." And the implication there is that Hercules was fighting against tyranny and evil, and now that he's dead, there's no longer anyone to take care of all the bad people doing bad stuff, the world's avenger. There's a time coming, which is known as the resurrection, where basically everyone comes back, and we'll go into the science of how that works, as I've described before. We all get judged for what we've done. I'll be judged for how long I've taken to get around to telling people about the grass on the other side and how much greener it is. When you spend a lifetime going and searching for what's actually going on here, and you find out a whole lot of stuff, and then you come back, it's nice to sit down and sort of report from the other side. I mean, I'm there already. I know how it all works. I'm pretty happy with it. I'd like everyone else to be happy with it, but we don't go forcing people to understand it or telling them they have to understand it. But it'd be nice if you did, because then we'd all live happily ever after, and that, of course, is what we want. So I'll keep persevering. So at the judgment, there are a lot of people, my father's one of them, who want to see God sort of come back and take care of all those bad people and send them off to hell maybe, or at least give them a damn good thrashing, and to have justice, for all those people who were doing the bad stuff while he was doing all the good stuff and behaving himself, and all those other people going out having fun and doing what people have when they're what people do when they're having fun, and maybe be a little bit envious of how much fun they're having, and think, well, at the end God's going to come and with a big stick and take care of them all. And it doesn't quite work like that. Even the Muslims understand that Allah is a merciful God, and indeed mercy is, of course, forgiveness is, of course, what Jesus preached throughout his ministry. And like it or not, when the resurrection comes and we're all judged, an amazing thing's going to happen. It comes from the Baptist tradition, which is of baptism, where symbolically people get put under water and their, quote, sin is washed away. We won't go into details of what sin is, but it sort of comes back to the fact that because we are mortal, we all get old and we die, God has sort of, in a sense, imposed that condition on us, and therefore we're not actually responsible for our actions in response to the limited, finite lifetime that we have. And so that's how, in the resurrection, he gets to wash that all away, to say, well, look, the reason you had a hard time in this world is because I, God, that is God speaking, imposed that mortality on you for reasons which we'll come to in the study of what is known as the Odyssey, or why there's bad stuff in the world. And that will certainly be an interesting thing to look at. But at the moment, we're talking about the resurrection because There's a group over in the Middle East who are trying to bring about the end of the world, or bring about sort of one world system. And they're trying to do it in a pretty nasty sort of way by saying you have to do what we tell you to do, and the system that they're proposing is not very attractive. I mean, the women are all covered up, all the men have funny long beards, and it's just not attractive. Certainly not to us in the West, who sort of like bright lights and things that are beautiful, and we like to enjoy them. Speaking of things that are beautiful, single malt Scotch for today is the Auchentoshan. This is the very last of the non-age statement whiskies in Jude's collection, and after this at last we'll be able to move on to the good stuff, which are the aged whiskies. But this is lovely. It's finished in 3 different casks. The casks are Spanish Oloroso, Pedro Ximenez Sherry, and American Bourbon, and triple distilled, which seems to be a specialty of Auchentoshan. So, cheers. Cool. The end of the world's going to come. We're all going to be said, well, actually, you know what? You're forgiven for all the bad stuff you've done, because the world's going to be a different place. And a bit like the woman, the prostitute who was brought, sorry, not a prostitute, but the adulteress who was brought before Jesus, was asked to go and sin no more.